So the second most important thing, and these are listed in order of importance, okay, is cardio. It's critical to your long-term success, okay? So it's necessary, number one, for our goals. If we want to lose fat effectively, we got to do exercise. It's that simple. We got to do cardio, okay? And if you want to keep the weight off and be able to eat for the rest of your life, right, you need to have a cardio regimen that you do for the rest of your life. And I enjoy my life. I love living. My number one prayer every day is that I live a long, healthy life to a very old age. I want to see my son grow up to an old man. That is my goal in life. So if I'm not doing any exercise, that ain't going to happen. Okay? So I want to make sure that I'm doing cardio and doing everything possible for me to stay healthy. And I don't want to look fat. I want to be lean. I don't get up and do, right now I'm training and I'm up to 50 minutes of cardio right now of high intensity intervals. And I don't do that because, this is fun. That's what I want to do when I first wake up. I want to get on the treadmill and die, right? Kill myself. No, I don't want to do that. But I do that because I like the result. I like being a certain way. And if I don't do that, it ain't going to happen. I got goals over here, and I need to go there. So I need to do the things to get me there. If I'm not willing to do them, I'm never going to go there. I can sit on my couch watching TV going, man, that guy looks really good. I'd really like to look like him. I wish I had his arms or his abs. Yeah. I could do that, and it's never going to happen. I'm never going to look like that guy. Or I can get off my butt and make it happen. And that's what we need to do. We need to make it happen. That's why this was important, this event today. The people here, it tells me something that you're here. Especially today. I told the principal, I said, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if anybody's going to show up. Because you actually have to go somewhere. I'm serious. Because today it's Instagram, Facebook, everywhere for video. If it's not there, then no. Anybody can pick up their phone while they're sitting on the couch or wherever they're at, on the toilet or whatever, and watch whatever, and talk about their hardcore. Man, I'm going to do my fitness goals. Yeah, but they're not willing to get up and go somewhere to get information to do it. If it ain't right here, I ain't getting it, right? You guys got up early in the morning and got here to make this happen. And that proves that you have what it takes to get results, okay? I'm serious. I'm not just saying that. And that was one of the reasons I did this like this. And that's why I'm going to do, I promise, I'm going to take 3 people that are here, and I'm going to do personal coaching with 3 people that are here. I wouldn't do it for someone who's not here, because if they're not committed enough to even get up in the morning and get here, I do not want to waste my time with them, okay? My time is very valuable, okay? So if I'm spending time with you, that's taking away from my life and the other things I have to do. So if I'm doing that, you better be serious, right? So there's people here that I'm going to take. So, but I'll explain that at the end. Okay, so cardio necessary for our goals. And as I said earlier, this is going to create the deficit that we need through the activity. So this is where we're going to burn our calories. Okay? And least amount necessary. This is the big, oh my goodness. We have to do the least amount necessary to initiate change, and no more. Most people get this so wrong, and that's why they get stuck. We should never change it until our body adapts. We'll get into this in a second. So we just went through the scenario of the typical dieter, right? What happened? There was a big deficit, right? And so the body said, wait a second, if I continue like this, I'm going to die. So it threw all its defense mechanisms out to stop that, right? You can create the same problem here. So let me give you an example. For California, we just had an extremely cold week. I mean, it got down into the 20s and 30s here. It got down to 70. No, I mean, it got down cold, right? So now imagine, you're sitting on your couch in the living room, everything's cool, you got the fire going, you're watching TV, and you're having a good old time, it's all good. And all of a sudden, it's like freezing cold. And you just feel wind like blowing on you. You're like, whoa, what's happening? You grab a blanket, you're like, what's going on? And you're like, where's that coming from? And it forces you to get up. And you're like, oh, there's a window open. Close the window. Now I'm not cold anymore. Okay? That's what your body does. You jump in there and you slam it with a bunch of cardio every day, and it's like opening that window here, and it's like, wait a second, close that thing, we're going to die. Right? Well, what happens if we're sitting on the couch, watching TV, same fire, everything's going cool, and every once in a while we just catch a little drift. Like, whew, kind of cold. Where'd that come from? But it's not enough to bother us. Right? It's bothering us. Put that blanket over me. Right? I'm good. Man, I wonder, it's not a big deal. And you let it go and you let it go to finally, maybe a couple days of this happening, you go, you know what? Where is that coming from? And you walk over and you go, oh, the window's cracked open over here. I'll close that thing, and you close it. But it takes you a while because it wasn't so dramatic. It wasn't bothering you. That's how your body works. We need to crack that window open until your body shuts it, and then we crack it again. Okay? And we just continue to go through that process until we no longer make any change. Then we start all over. Okay? So, and there's an example in my book. I'll tell you this little story just real quick. This was 15 years ago or more, so some of the details are a little fuzzy. Okay? So I have a nutrition center in a gym, doing my personal training thing, and I have a husband and wife. And the wife is literally like 5 feet tall. And she is insane exerciser. She weighs like, 110 pounds, whatever. She's nothing, right? And she's doing like 2 hours of cardio. No, she actually was doing 3 hours of cardio a day, running. I mean, and she was trying to lose weight. She was eating like a ridiculously low number of calories, like 800 something. I don't remember the exact numbers, 20 years ago. Okay, something ridiculous. So her husband, he has completely the opposite goals. He's like 6'4", right? Wants to build muscle, lose fat, the whole thing, right? So they both come to me. She's been stuck. She's doing 3 hours of cardio a day. Insane, until like just running on the treadmill for hours. She would come multiple times to the gym. I can actually see her on that treadmill right now. I can see it next to the aerobic room, by the window. I can see it. Running, doing her thing. And she's miserable because she can't get this weight off. How is she not getting this weight off if she's doing 3 hours of cardio a day? Right? And her calories are like 800. She can't lower her calories anymore. She can't possibly do any more activity. So when she comes to me, and I say, absolutely, I can help you. What are you doing? She tells me, and I tell her, okay. And I knew this was going to be a problem when I told her this. I knew it, because psychologically and emotionally, she wasn't ready for this. I said, okay, what we're going to have to do, number one, we're going to have to increase your calories, because your calories are too low. Okay, so I sold her on that concept, which was a fight, right? Okay, we're going to get your calories up 1,200, whatever they were. What? I'm going to gain weight, this, that, whatever. Okay. I'm like, she's really not going to like this next thing. And we need to stop your cardio. She literally wanted to jump out of the chair and punch me. Like, she was upset and like thinking I'm insane. I don't know what I'm talking about. And she's going to walk out of my office. And I said, we're going to take a week or two off. Just take it off. Give your body a break. Kind of explain to her what I just explained to you. Your body's not going to, it's like, I love the boxing analogy. You know, like if you're in a corner and you're in a professional bout, it's championship of the world. So it's not like you got some amateur fighter. And I mean, and you're trapped in the corner, you can't get out, and he is just lighting you up. I mean, the punches are coming nonstop, coming. And all you can do is just try to defend yourself. I mean, just try to cover up so you don't get hit. My mic's right there, sorry. So you try to cover up in that corner and try to find a way out, because every time you start throwing punches, you get hit. So you just kind of cover up. So now me, you know, if I'm the guy, right? If I'm the other guy hitting you, I'm getting tired. Like, why am I keep hitting this dude? I'm not getting anywhere, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to jump back. Make you think I'm done punching. I'm done punching you now. And then you go, oh, man, stop. And you come up, and I'm going to knock you out. The punches are going to start again. I'm going to try to knock you out anyway, right? So that's what your body does. You're throwing all this stuff, cardio, wait, yeah, oh man, low calories, boom, boom, boom. Your body's like, whoa, stop. And it just goes into total defensive mechanism and shuts down. And you need to step back. Go, hey, I ain't doing that anymore. And your body's like, oh, everything's cool. And then there you go again, right? You have to be able to trick your body. Your body doesn't want to burn the fat. It's saving it for a reason. Okay, so that's important to understand. So what we want to do when we're doing cardio, we want to do the least amount necessary to initiate a change. We want to increase the intensity first. Okay, so we want to increase the speed or the difficulty of that cardio. Speed first, then difficulty. Okay, and that will increase the intensity or your heart rate. Okay, so you want to do that first. Now, I had someone ask me about this the other day and brought it back to mind. High intensity versus low intensity cardio. There's a myth that you burn more fat if you do low intensity cardio. And if you do higher intensity, you're not burning fat, you're just burning muscle or protein. Completely false. It's messing with statistics. So what happens is you have aerobic and anaerobic. So with oxygen, without oxygen. So your body needs fuel. Now, when everything's cool and we're getting enough oxygen, let's say right now, I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you guys, I'm not burning a lot of calories, I'm not out of breath. I only need 10 calories. I'm getting enough oxygen that my body can take 100% of those calories from fat. It can break it down. It never does 100% one or the other. I'm just giving you this for this example. Okay? Now, let's say I start picking up the intensity and I sprint across here across the football field. I might burn, 100 calories. But it's so intense, I can't get enough oxygen to burn all of those calories from fat. So let's say I burned 50% from fat and 50% from sugar. So what? 100% of 10 calories is 10 calories. 50% of 100 calories is 50 calories. Where did I burn more fat? I burned 50 calories of fat at the higher intensity, right? So all I did was use a different fuel source during that anaerobic burst. And regardless, by the end of the day, I burned more calories, so I created that deficit, right? So I'm going to eventually burn that fat anyway, percentage-wise. So that's critical to understand. So that's a myth. We want to try to avoid as much as we can. We want to try to burn as high a percentage of fat as possible. So we want to stay as far away from that anaerobic threshold as we can, but we want to push it. And every once in a while when we cross over into it, so what? You're burning more calories, okay? So increase the intensity first, then you change the mode. So if you're doing the treadmill every day and you increase the intensity, and now it's been a couple weeks and you're stuck, now you're not making any changes. You change the mode. Do the elliptical trainer, okay? Or when you get stuck there, then do the stairs. Then go back to the treadmill, okay? Then when you get stuck, after that, you increase the frequency. So if you were doing 4 days a week, you increase the intensity, you change the mode, now you increase the number of days. So you do 5 days a week at 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you were doing. Then when you get stuck again, you increase the intensity of that, change the mode, and then you increase the time. So you increase it to 30 minutes or 40 minutes. And then when you get stuck, you go through the process again. And you only change it when you get stuck. That's where the problem comes, because we're emotional. I look at myself in the mirror every day and I want to see change. And when I'm doing that treadmill and I'm like, okay, anymore, I need 10 more minutes. I actually did this to myself like a week ago. I was examining everything because I can see everything that's happening with my body. And I'm like, I'm stuck. I'm like, I need to make a change. And so I log everything. So on my phone, I can tell you for the last 2 years how many calories I had each day, how many grams of protein, how much cardio I did, and what I trained that day, and any notes on the side of why I didn't do A, B, or like if there was something off here, there's a note on the side of why that was. I can go look it up right now and just tell you what it is. So I know what's happening. So I'm like, man, I'm stuck. I need to increase. And then so I pull out my log and I'm like, dude, calm down. You've only been doing this 2 weeks, right? And what do you want? You know, you don't need to change anything. You're just being impatient, right? I needed to check myself, right? So it's important that we don't change things too soon or you will cause a plateau. You think you're going to get more results and you will actually cause a plateau sooner. You might get results for a couple days. So it's okay to do that every once in a while. And I'm not encouraging cheating, okay? But let's say you had a bad day. So the next day, you decide, instead of 30 minutes of cardio, I'm going to do an hour. Because you just ate a cheesecake the day before, okay? And then you go right back to your program. That's okay. You just can't get into the habit of go, well, then I'm going to eat a cheesecake here and then do another hour, right? Then it's not effective. You're stuck, okay? So recommended intensity for the novice, 50 to 60% of your maximum heart rate. Maximum heart rate, you can, there'll be a chart in the book and on Club PPM that you guys will have, so you can calculate all that. Intermediate to advanced is 65 to 85% of your maximum heart rate or maximum rate of perceived exertion. And that's what I like to use. So I don't always necessarily check my heart rate. I go off of maximum rate of perceived exertion. So like if you can talk, but you can't complete a sentence. So when I'm doing my intensity, it's like I can talk, but I can't complete a sentence. So I'm at that high intensity. And then, so if I'm doing intervals, I might jack it up, bring it back down, so that's the intensity level. The amount, novice, just 3 days a week, 20 minutes. Intermediate to advanced, and the reason I say that for novice is that's novice deconditioned. So you're not doing anything. So you get on a treadmill or cardio, and you haven't been doing any cardio. But the intermediate or advanced person, they're already doing some sort of cardio or exercise, right? So they're going to go, 4 days a week, at 30 minutes. And I can already hear people in their heads right now. I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, 4 days? I can't do 4 days. I need to do 6 days. Yeah, 4 days ain't enough for me. You know, don't bite into that temptation. Do what you're supposed to do. And keep it simple. That's like the number one thing. People try to make things way too complicated. It's so simple. This is not magic. I'm not giving you like any trick secrets. Oh, you got to try this system. Oh, you got to do keto. You got to do this. You got to do that. Dude, calm down. I don't need to be measuring my pee and checking ketos. And dude, you're relying way too much on metabolic processes and testing all of this stuff, and you're creating a problem that's not necessary. Eat a well-balanced diet and do what you're supposed to do. And let your body burn its fat and be happy. Be a human being. The reality is you will never maintain your ideal body if it's difficult for you to maintain. So if you don't like the food you eat, you're not going to eat that way for the rest of your life. You're not going to go, oh, you know what? I hate this food. I hate this food. I hate all of my meals. But I'm going to do this every day for the rest of my life. Right? I hate this. You're not going to do it. Find stuff you like. If you don't, like you absolutely hate the treadmill or you will not step into a gym, then you know what? Your backyard. You know what I mean? Just get out there, do it there. Go for a walk with your dog. Go to the beach. Go, find something to do that you enjoy, right? That way you'll keep it off. You'll do it. It's the same with your diet. You're not going to follow a keto diet for the rest of your life. I know I'm kind of hammering that one. I'm not trying to insult anyone, it's so popular and I'm hearing it from everywhere. Okay? You're never going to do that for the rest of your life. It ain't going to happen. Okay?